Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm glad you're with us this Friday morning. I'm Winston Chester, and our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center, corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. High today be 60. It's still going to be, it's going to be 44 tonight. It's still cool, and it's, still wintertime technically. We talk about this almost every day. And remember, March the 20th now will be that spring equinox, and we'll talk about it. But another cool weekend we've had. It's been a wet and cool first week of March. And remember what the old timers always said, March comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb. And it may be true again this year. A lot of times I think about that because March is always a special month to me. It's really sort of a transition month, and a lot of things are taken off. It's my birthday month, my anniversary month, and it's just a happy month that March is. So it's a great time to be in the outdoors in March. So this weather's going to pick up. I know a lot of people. I hear a lot of people complaining. Folks, it don't do any good to complain about the weather. Commenting on the weather, yes, but complaining about it, no. All right. Let's. Water temperature's at 61. Take a look at our river readings. I get tickled sometimes people talking about the weather. All right, Apalachicola, it is going to be 11.7 this morning, and actually going to bump on up a little bit tonight. And Saturday morning, if you get up Saturday morning, get on the river down there around Weewall, it's going to be dropping. That's at Bluntstown right there. So it's going to be dropping sometime during the day while you're on the water, okay? Some folks, it may be high, but it's going to be there. Chattahoochee, now if you get up put in over there at Ebro, you're going to look at a river reading of 8.7, and it's going to be bumping on up, and by Sunday it's getting hit the 10-foot mark again. So this rain we've had has been a lot of it. It's showing on our river readings. All right, the tide report. Let's take a look at it. Brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is "When Carrying Counts," and we're looking at March the 7th, and it's a good tide this morning. We're looking at a high tide at 122 in the middle of the day, and then a low tide at 108 after midnight. So it's got a good 1.6 foot range, and it's got a good incoming tide right there. Okay, actually going to be outgoing afternoon, incoming in the morning. Okay, rain forecast I got at northwest at about 10 to 15. Let's go ahead and do our times on Friday. I'd like to do it here in this first segment because once we do our fishing report, sometime we'll have a chance to get it set up for it. Brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Some good times here, almost coinciding with that tide. We have a 4:54 time this morning. Just say 5 to 7 this morning, and this evening from 5:19 to 7:19. A good time if you get off work early on a Friday. Good time to take advantage of that weather breaking off. So we're going to have a little bit of wind now. Like I said, the marine forecast is northwest at 10 to 15, but maybe this afternoon it'll die down a little bit. All right, that takes care of our weather. Let's take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's start off this segment with some pictures. I mean, it's really exciting during the week to get these pictures. Even have them on Friday morning before the weekend. I'm going to get a bunch more this weekend, so I thank all of y'all for sending them in and sharing them on all kinds of different places and all. This first one is really fascinating. Look at this picture. That looks like something deep in the swamp down there off Apalachicola, the Chattahoochee River Basin. But guess where this picture is taken? This is at St. Andrew State Park. Mike Shaw took this picture, and isn't that just a wonderful picture? Look at the little things like the ripples. You see where he's been walking through the water. That's that big buck out there, and he's been a subject of a lot of photos, and he really great picture there. Okay, now next picture, I just want to. These are some used kayaks that Brad had. He may not have them anymore, just popping up this week, and I mean there's some good. He has some really good prices on used kayaks. I mean they're like $500 to $800 on some really nice kayaks. If you're interested, call Brad. Tell him you saw these used kayaks on his show. He'll cut you a good deal. Okay, I love this picture here. This is one of our former students and football players, Donnie McCormick. He's just done such a great job playing ball for us and everything, and he's now a doctor. He's waiting for his. He's been up at University of Alabama, Birmingham, and he was home. He had a little break, and he finished all his residency, and they waited for assignment and all, and he taken he came down here to take a little break with his mom and dad, Don and Karen McCormick, and he went spear fishing. Now, he didn't catch this. He got it with a spear. That's a 70-pound amberjack. Now, if you ever caught an amberjack, a 20-something pound amberjack will give you a fight. Now, Don is still a big old strong boy, but he had a fight with this one right here, and he just had a wonderful time. Grandparents, Don and Pat McCormick and Lynn Haven, y'all know the McCormick family, Uncle Mickey and all that, and I know he was glad to get home, take a break, and look at that big old smile on his face. Not only did he get that big old amberjack with a spear gun, he's also got some nice red groupers, so the whole neighborhood ate good. In fact, they live over there, and I think Stan Kirkland got some of that fish, and they all had a neighborhood, helping the neighborhood out on the fish supply. This is Todd Boyd on the left. Remember, I had him on the show yesterday. Talking about fish cleaning table. I told him to send me a picture. Now, that was this summer now. That's not this past weekend. That was this past summer. But what I want you to look at is a table. That's the fish cleaning table they make. And really, Todd makes these up there at Haney Welding Shop. And I got another picture here. I bought one of these last year. One of the first ones they produced. I had a sink put in mine. They can customize it whatever you want. But it'll last a lifetime, folks, and you don't have to pay these huge prices. And get up with them and tell them, material is really good, top quality material, and they take the time on it. And that money goes to scholarships and all that, and help them on their expenses. Okay. Tom Martin brought this picture by. He sent this picture in my email. Nice 22-pound grouper. Tom is an excellent fisherman. Does a lot of fishing down here, and always getting some good stuff and good reports from him. A good fisherman. Don't forget, this weekend, March the 8th, this is tomorrow, from 12 p.m. till it's gone, this benefit for Andrea Wright. She is a young lady up there in Vernon that had a hunting accident. It's going to be at the old Vernon High School cafeteria. Look at whatever you want to eat, deer, hog, catfish, or turkey. And it's a dinner plate. You get your choice of 2 sides, a cake, and drink for an $8 donation. And come out and show your support. So live entertainment, and just hang around there, or you can have a carry-out plate, and that's a great opportunity there to support a very good cause for Andrea Wright up there in Vernon. Okay, Justin Leake said now this doesn't look like a lot of fish. This is what they just kept to eat on Justin's boat. He said they released a bunch of fish yesterday, but they kept these to eat for supper last night. So good job there, and there was a good bite was on yesterday. Dave Borges sent snapper fishing they were over in Destin. They were fishing off the Sweet Jody. Dave Borges and his sons. Look at the snapper. You can catch a snapper and all. Good job there. Some nice fish. All right, that takes care of our pictures. Thanks, Dave, for sending those pictures to me and to share with everybody. Okay, I wanted to. The pictures, like I say, speaks volumes, and it gives us a chance to show you what's going on. And you say it's been a pretty good week in spite of the weather. Like I say, Justin had a good day, but we're going to talk about that later on in our fishing report. Next, I want to talk about people asking where to get the book. There's a quick job on the book locations now. Full box will be up in Dothan at Southern Outdoor Sports, here on anywhere across the Hathaway Bridge, Santa Rosa, that community over there. Y'all go to Sunjammers and get it. Here in town is at C&G Sporting Goods. In the Gulf County area, it's at right there at Blue Water Outriggers, and down Apalachicola is that little bookstore down there, downtown bookstore, about as big as this little room right here, but they sell a bunch of books, and about 90% of my customers down there are people that are not from around here. They come down from Atlanta, and they just fall in love. The lady tells me the people from Atlanta and all parts of Georgia just love that book. So those are the locations you can get, or you can, like I say, order them from me, call me, or whatever. Look on my website, my phone number's on there, and also we'll get to it. Now, I had one of my students come in the other day, and she had bought one for her dad, but she'd been reading a lot. She said, "Coach, where's Cromanton?" And I got to thinking, nobody, when the book first came out, I did a map of the old communities right here and put it here, the old communities on the Tyndall area before Tyndall took over in 1940. And those are all the communities there. And the map is just a map, and these maps are free. I'll leave some here in the studio if you want to come out and get one. But I just wanted, I didn't realize, I do realize, but the turnover and all, people just don't know all these old communities. I sketched this out last night. Now, it's not a really good drawing, but I just want to give you an idea of where everything was before. Okay, there's a Tyndall Peninsula right there. the Tindal Peninsula right here. You still know where Allington is because it's over there on the side over here. So right across from Allington was Farmdale. There's a little bayou now called Farmdale Bayou. It's been there forever. Mr. Ecker, I got to fish there, Mr. Bobby Ecker, before he passed away. Then coming on up a little community called Belle Isle. Then Auburn, community of Auburn. There's a Raphael family in there. Right by the bridge, this is the bridge right here by Parker. Then you had San Blas, just a little small community up in that cove called San Blas. But Cromerton was probably the biggest one. It was right here. If you're coming across the Tindal Bridge, headed toward Tindal, it'll be over on the right-hand side. That's where Bob Studebaker built the Princess and all those, all kinds of things happened. Cromerton was a nice community, and a big old hotel there and all. And of course, the Redfish Point with the Massolina family and the Lee family and all them at the Redfish Point. So, and then over here, Davis Beach was not really, they didn't really have a lot of farm. There's a boat launch place called Davis Beach, and that's where everybody, when you go to Crooked Island Sound, people don't realize it's called Davis Beach, but that's the history of that area right there. Just wanted to sort of sketch it out and show it to you. And I explained to her in class, and she was excited to know that Cromerton was right there because she even got out a map to try to find Cromerton and show her daddy, but they couldn't find it. So anyway, and we'll talk about those communities later. But let's go and take our break now, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us on this Friday morning. Hope you're planning some good outdoor activities for the weekend. All kind of exciting things going on. Don't forget, it's the opening of turkey season, spring turkey season for youth. I know Michael Harris is taking a group of them out Saturday and Sunday. They're going hunting, so a whole group of them going out. So we'll try to get some reports on how they do. But youth spring turkey hunting here in Northwest Florida. All right, let's add some names to the pickle jar real quick, okay? This is David Vest, Ed Hogan, Panama City Beach, Tanis Khalil, Seagrove Beach, Dion Khalil, Seagrove Beach, good viewers over there. Carl Key, Panama City Beach, Barb Key, Panama City Beach, and Bruce Mixon over there in South Walton. Good morning, Bruce. Glad you're in here. Hope you win. Hope all of y'all win something. And we're going to do a drawing just at the end of this little segment here, but just wanted to go ahead and get those names in there. Now, don't forget, I mentioned this yesterday. I mentioned one more time now. I love the old stuff like this, the antique show up there in Walton County, Saturday, that's tomorrow, from 8 until. And I wish I could be up there. It'd be some really neat stuff. All kinds of things going on. $7 to get in, but food and beverages there. And it's going to be at the fairgrounds there in the Funiac Springs. A lot of history in Walton County. It had a unique history, and it's unique, but it's similar to a lot of history here where it had the inland activities, but had a lot better farmland up in that area in North Walton County. So it's settled more in that area around the Funiac Springs, and really, really good stuff over there. Don't forget also, this weekend is the Emerald Coast Redfish Tournament. And you can go watch it weigh in. It'll be, I think, around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. You can go on the website and be sure. But you can still, not too late to enter. They're going to have the captain's meeting tonight at the Tindal Bridge. So go ahead and touch base with them. And be a good weekend with that redfish tournament. And they'll be kicking off. Now, see, go ahead and put this on your calendar. Talking about fishing, free freshwater, free, when I say free, license free, always the first full weekend of April, FWC, through the legislature act that had the 4 weekends a year, but the next one coming up is going to be April 5th and 6th for free freshwater, free license of freshwater fishing. So go ahead and put that on your calendar. You can take some folks if they're coming in from out of town or something, or folks who maybe never fished and all. If water's going to be warming up, April is a great time to start kicking it off. Okay, now let's go into our tip of the day, and we're going to try this. We're all talking about Spanish mackerel. Now, so far, I've logged in one foggy morning. So far, it was Monday morning of this week. We had a foggy morning, so we've had one foggy morning of March. Now, I'm thinking, usually it breaks down about the third week of March is when the Spanish mackerel start coming in, and if we get one fog a week, it's going to work out again about the same. But, you know, the best way to fish for Spanish mackerel, first of all, you want to take kids. Okay, and this is a little rig I made myself. I've had it on last year, but I'm really, really excited about it. Just a little piece of wood. Okay, and this is a mackerel tree. Now, it looks like all tangle mess, but it's not tangle. It's all, but you can see it's got different colors. We tie it on your line up here. This is a good thick line, and then it has a color here. And I thought about, you're talking about, keeping records of what you catch. see how many catch on red and how many catch on yellow. And then you have a green down here, and then you have a spoon at the end of it. That's a mackerel tree. You get them in our sponsors. Blue Water has them. C&G has them. But anyway, it has 5 hooks on it, and it is a thrill for a kid to catch 5. It has 4 colors. Has 4 colors here, and a spoon. But it is a thrill for a young person to catch, a kid to catch more than 1 fish at one time. I don't care what kind of fish it is. If they catch more than 1 time, it's just a special time. So this is the best time ever for a kid to do that. So when Spanish mackerel season kicks off, my tip of the day is go ahead and get your mackerel trees rigged up. Have 4 or 5 sets of these. And I just had, like I said, put a little nail here and just put a hook in it. Put the eye right there and just wrap it around. And it's a good way to keep them on there. And that is a lot of fun. So go ahead. We're going to talk about mackerel fishing a lot. It's going to be one of the first fish showing up. All right. Now, let's go ahead and also this weekend, Blue Water Outriggers is having a fishing sale. I saw that yesterday in the paper. I just want to mention that Blue Water Outriggers having some nice rod and reels for sale, and also they're going to have the big sale coming up later too. But they're having a good weekend sale this weekend. All right, now let's get set up for our drawing from Tarpon Rock Seafood. I can't wait till Spanish mackerel get here and get those kids out there catching those Spanish mackerel, though. That's just a lot of fun. All right, here we go. The first recipient will win a $20 gift certificate of Tarpon Rock Seafood, and that is Mariel Kirkland. Mariel Kirkland, $20. Let me go and put it down right here. This is in March. All right, and a big red snapper winner will be, and it is going to be Tom Adams from the Funiac Springs. I tell you, we have a lot of good viewers up there in the Funiac Springs. Tom, come down and get that big old red snapper and a big old cookout. All right, that's 2 winners for this week. Congratulations, and we're going to take our break, and we're going to get set up for our famous Friday fishing forecast. All right, welcome back, and welcome to the famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Rock Seafood. Listen, just got off the phone right before the show with folks down at Seaquarters Marina trying to get Miller. Miller was sleeping late this morning. Got to talk to Kim. She's on top of things down there, I tell you. She's really gave us a good report. Let me tell you what they're doing down there. They're catching a lot of sheephead. They said the sheephead bite has really turned on down in Carabel. And what's going on? What you do, you have these campers that come down and stay in these RVs and all. And she said they're catching them from the bank, along the river banks and all. They're catching, there's some good holes there, and catching some nice sheephead on every day. They catch them on basically just some good cut shrimp, some good fresh shrimp. Not even having to use live shrimp, but they sell them. In fact, when I say fresh, it's fresh frozen. It's frozen shrimp they're using, but it's fresh frozen, so the scent's still on there really good. So the sheephead bite down at the mouth of Carabel River has been outstanding along the banks. So you don't even need to have a boat to go down and catch some sheephead, okay? She also mentioned a redfish right at the mouth. They've been catching some nice redfish coming in every day, some good catches of redfish. So that bite is turned on down there around the Carabel River and right behind Dog Island and all. And so Seaquarters Marina gave us that report. Now let's go up to Mexico Beach. Captain Mitch Coleman sent this report in last night. We'll move on down here. I'm not going to, let's see. Let's go straight on into Mexico Beach right there for right now. I've got this report ready from Captain Mitch Coleman, who with Florida's Adventures. He said the water temperature down there is 62 degrees, all the way out to 18 miles and 100 foot. He said the whiting bite is very good in the canal on fresh shrimp. So that goes along with sort of what we said last year. Right up there in that canal is an excellent bite of whiting on just some fresh shrimp. Also, he went on to say the flounder being caught on bull minnows near shore, the triggerfish and the white snapper bite is really good on squid, and the flounder bite is fair on cut bait. Offshore, mostly it's amberjacks at 18, 20 miles out, and it's been a pretty good run down there. Now I talked to Blair Morgan, Captain Blair Morgan, and he was saying, his captain down there, a lot of his buddies went over to Louisiana this past week where the yellowfin tuna bite was excellent out there out of Venice, and had some really good. In fact, they brought him back a mess of tuna steaks and all, so he was tickled about that. But he said right here locally, he said the best bet again will be going to the right there around the stump hole and fishing for the whiting. The whiting bite, that always carries us through the winter. We talk about it every year. The whiting and white sand trout is really strong right there. Coming on up here in Bay County, on East Bay, having a big tournament tomorrow. So you know you can, if you want to see where some good fishermen fish East Bay, you watch those guys tomorrow if you get a chance out there on a boat and all. So watch what those guys are doing. But they're going to be coming back into the landing from the tournament. But really, right now here in Bay County, the cobia watch is on. They caught some cobia, but it was in Sarasota. We got a good report this week. And there's a network of cobia guys, and they're all over talking back and forth on a daily basis and showing pictures and all. I've had a lot of pictures of cobia, but not in local cobia. So, you know, it don't count to go offshore. We're talking about the ones coming inshore. Everybody gets to see it and throw at and all. So the cobia watch is on. And then we just mentioned the Spanish mackerel. We're going to be getting ready for those probably another 2 weeks, hopefully. So, but Justin Leake has had a good bite on his boat. My granddaughter Whitney Woodrick, they went out last Friday deep sea fishing. In fact, we had that grouper this past week, grilled grouper and amberjack. It was just delicious. So if you get on a party boat or a head boat, not a head boat, I'm sorry, but a charter boat, it's been really good. Those guys are still catching fish, and they caught some nice grouper this past week. But the sheephead bite has turned on here at the jetties. I do want to get that in. They started catching them this week, and I remember last Friday I said maybe this weekend. It sure enough was. This past weekend is when that bite turned on. I got all kind of pictures. You saw them earlier on the pier and at the jetties. They were catching sheephead. So that bite was right on time, and we're talking about water temperature and all, but the sheephead bite came in this week. So if you get a chance to fish around the jetties, around those rocks, or go out on the pier, the sheephead should be biting really strong. So it looks like a great weekend for fishing, and the bite is just beginning to get turned on. So we appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. We're going to wrap it up for the week. Do something outdoors this weekend, and do something good for someone else. You have a great weekend and a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.